Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Behind the Pine podcast. Chris Demo here at Murphy's Law Irish Pub in Rochester, New York, here in the East End Alexander Entertainment District. I have my friends and co-workers here with me tonight, and also another first here on Behind the Pine. This is our first barback episode. I have Preston and Wild Bill here with me, and do not call him Bill. It is Wild Bill. And if you are watching this on video, you could tell he's going to live up to the name.
Damn.
So guys, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it. First, we're going to dive into our local shout out of the show. And this week's local shout out is for GV3 Barbershop. My buddy Gil over there at GV3 has been taking care of my hair and beard, more beard needs than anything over the last, God, it has to be 10 years. Started off on Monroe Ave, and now he's got a shop over on Park Avenue. And not only that, he's got his new shop and barber school over on East Avenue, right across from Wegmans. So please make sure you go check out Gil, shouting him out. Him and all of his guys are awesome. They do walk-ins, make an appointment, whatever. They got you covered. We're always doing a shout-out. Gil's always taking care of us, so make sure you stop by and check out the boys over at GV3. Anyway, so Bill, Preston, welcome. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
No problem. And, introduce yourselves. Let us know how long you've been in the industry, what you've done in the industry, and we'll kind of get into it here. Whoever wants to go first.
Take it away.
Take it away. All right. I'm Preston. I've been in the industry about 4 years. I used to work at JD Oxford's over on Monroe Ave, and now I work over here mostly at Magpie and Dead Red. Full-time, I work at Bausch & Lomb.
Awesome. I am Bill Lista. I have been working here for about 3-4 years as well, mainly barbacking. Also would sometimes do the cleaning with your brother, always doing everything. So, been doing that, was a teacher for a while and kind of hung up that coat. And now I'm turning wrenches with my old man at the mechanic shop, a little bit of everything.
Bill and I usually work together on Wednesday nights at Magpie, a shift I always look forward to. Bill's awesome to work with. And I was going to break it to him during the show, but we kind of got into it a little bit ahead of time when I told him my wife's working at the hospital tomorrow night and Thursday. And he goes, what do you mean tomorrow night? We work together tomorrow. And I was going to break it to him on the show and get his reaction live. It was exactly what I expected, but it happened before we started rolling. So tomorrow night we will not be working together. But Wednesday is a shift that I always look forward to with my man Wild Bill. So guys, I know that. So as someone who's worked his way up busboy, I've done hosting, I've done barbacking, bartending, a little managing. So when I don't know if it feels the same for you guys, but I know there's some bartenders that are not great to barback for, others that are better to barback for. And so when I say like the first barback episode, do you know if you're talking to the right bartender and a good bartender? I think you guys are definitely the unsung heroes of the night. So what's the view from? It's been a while since I barbacked. So what's the view from the barback side of things?
I feel as though just certain people are just a little more particular about different things. You kind of get to feel each other out, like where they like things, how they like things. And you just kind of know, like when you walk in, it's like, okay, like I'm working with so-and-so tonight. Like I know they like their shakers over here on the cups or,
right,
things like that. So just different styles, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone has.
Yeah. It definitely, going back to what you said, it makes me nervous sometimes when you work with a new one, because it's like how everyone's like very particular or whatnot too. And it's like, oh, is this person going to be mad if, I do this wrong, or if I, set this up incorrectly, or, like some are way more particular than others, which is nice when you have a nice laid back, but not like too laid back. So you get your job done, go home on a good time.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of pressure on you guys because if you've ever worked with me before, which both you guys have, actually, I think you covered one of Bill's shit. He was gallivanting out in Spain and Portugal. And, I'll tell anyone a new barback as soon as I work with them, I'm like, just so you know, if you know anything about me, I like to get the fuck out of here. I will definitely help with that process along the way.
Love that.
But I also I'll make a point, so and I think it's the same both ways where the bartender's got to feel out the barback too. So it's a two-way street. You don't work together. I pay attention. Like the first time I work with someone, I'm like, all right, there's things I got to say, okay, maybe do this a little bit different or a little bit better. And there's also things I'm like, oh, that's not a big deal. But I like to I'm an upfront kind of guy. I'm like, I've had my biggest thing is I don't like quarters in our big aluminum tip buckets. It drives me fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one thing I'll like, that's like, okay, if they're collecting money, which is our money. and I see quarters in the tip bucket. I'm like, so no quarters in the tip bucket. You'll be my best friend forever, but just no quarters in the tip bucket. Because at the end of the night, if I dump out a tip bucket and there's quarters in it, I won't be able to sleep the rest of the night.
Have I done that to you?
No,
Okay.
no.
Just
Not after that one time.
That's how we learn.
But no, there's definitely a feel out process, and like getting to know how people move behind a bar is definitely another thing. I'm terrible with space management. Even when we're slow, Bill will just be there and I'll just run into him. I'm just like, because I just don't pay attention to space and my head's always somewhere else. You guys like the more laid back people? There are people that are more like, this is the way I like it. So
Especially in the beginning, I mean, I had no clue because I didn't work behind the bar at all. So I was like, I love the direction. Like, okay, give me some like guidance here. But at the same time, like, be kind about it. But, I've worked in industry and restaurants and stuff. So I get the fast paced mentality. But like sometimes it's just like, all right, I just need a couple directions and now I'm good to go.
kind of like a teacher.
Yeah, exactly. Back in these days.
What about you, Preston?
No, I like the laid back. I mean, at first, yes, the direction would be like, hey, this is how I want this, that, or whatever, which is nice. But it's like, I've been doing it long enough where I know what I got to do to close, what I got to do to get us out of there at a decent time. So, I mean, if you let me do what I do, then I'm able to, make it not so we don't leave at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You don't need a micromanager. There's the pecking order at the bar. And the way the bars that we work for in particular, they're pretty much staff run, throughout the night, which is a good thing. You don't have people breathing down your neck all the time. But the bartender can dictate that a little bit, especially if you got someone who's hounding you all the time and giving you shit.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, maybe gives you the bare minimum tip out.
I feel as though, like, I guess I needed the direction in the beginning, but like Preston said, like, you start to figure out like what you have to do, and then you just start to flow. And then like, yeah, it's like, yo, I got this. Like, really, you're gonna have to tell me to do that? Like, that was the next thing on my list.
When Bill goes out of town, he goes, "Who would you like to work with?" And I did put Preston on my list. Preston was like, I was like, I'll work with Preston, and we did great.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'm like, because my biggest thing is obviously getting out of there. I also want things done right, because in the end, the barbacks closing stuff, if you're getting rushed out because the bartender wants to leave and the bartender's just sitting there barking orders, trying to get you like, hey, get all this done, but hurry up. And then you forget something, you get shit on. In reality, it was the bartender's job to make sure everything was done. So you got that kind of two-way street there a little bit. But I do think it's important for people that have bartending that it's good for people that really went through the ranks, and started at all those spots to have the appreciation of it. Because front-facing customers and dealing with those fucking people all night, sometimes it's tough. Especially as the night goes on, as people get more drunk and it gets a little bit more difficult. The bartenders are bringing in the money that gets divvied up. But you guys, you're like the gas that keeps the engine going. The car can't move without you guys. So you work at Half Pint too, though, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you guys, your common denominator is Magpie.
Yes.
And you work Sundays at Magpie.
Yeah, I work Sundays.
Are you day shift there?
Yeah, day shift, yeah.
How do you like it there?
I like it a lot. Kenzie, it's been one of my favorite bartenders. I mean, when I first moved up to the city, I actually lived right next to Public House on Morningside over there. Yeah. And I just found out after knowing her for 5 years, she didn't know my name for the first 3. She called me multiple names of bro. And I never caught on until she said it the other day. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. But yeah, no, we've always had good chemistry, which is nice. So it's like it makes the shift go by nice. And that, even when Pat comes in later in the day, I've always liked Pat. Pat's a good guy.
If you have staff issues when you're working with someone you're working with or anything, that'll completely spill out into the bar too. Yeah. Like, if you're flustered back there, you're arguing with people you work with, that goes right into the crowd and everyone else is upset. So when you got good synergy behind the bar and, things are getting done, and also if you got a shitty barback, which there are some out there, most of our barback staff's amazing, but even if you have a shitty one, it's like you're sitting up there as a bartender waiting for something.
Yeah.
And then it's not your fault. Like, let's say you got to get through traffic or there's some unforeseen problem you got to deal with in the basement as you're getting stuff.
It should be there, but it's not.
Yeah, right. And then I'm getting yelled at by someone who doesn't understand the whole process. Like, because now everyone's so impatient. And it could send you into a little tailspin for a while, but we got to right the ship. And I appreciate you guys more than anything as far as fighting the crowd, because I have no interest in being out in the people once I get to a certain part of my shift. I'm like, you go out there and I'll feed you to the wolves. Cause
the crowd is a great battle a lot of the times. It's because, you say, excuse me, but then they think you're a customer and then you have to say excuse me 3 times to even get them to acknowledge you, and sometimes they still even won't move. So it's like I'm like, you literally see me holding like 2 garbage bags full of shit. So I have a bad tendency of saying sorry, and there's a lot of people like, why do you say sorry? Just move out of there. I'm like, I mean, it's just out of habit.
I think a part of it is you become so polite because you're dealing with so many impolite people sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, because I've noticed that over the years is you're trying to get through people for whatever, and they'll just look at you right in the face, trying to get through. And they sit in these high traffic areas in these smaller bars, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, and then you're the first person to complain when you don't have, well, I don't have what you want because you're not letting us do our job.
Exactly.
You're blocking up our avenues. You see me with empty boxes or bags or whatever it is. I didn't bring these from home. I'm not just walking around with empty cases of beer.
And they're there all night long, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Always in the way.
They don't move. I just start pushing people. I'm like, I'll say, excuse me, you got one time.
Yep.
And everyone's in their own little world and you're getting shoved. And sometimes like coming through. You know,
my classic move as the barback is just put it over my head.
I do
And
the
it's
same,
just like,
the
okay,
same thing.
everyone moves for you now.
That actually happened to me a month ago, though. I did that exact move, and I didn't know this till after I got back from bringing out the trash. A couple of regulars told me, that kid that you moved out of the way, he's like, oh, should we sock the guy right in the face next time he comes back? I was like, that's wild.
That's a crazy, crazy take to have. This guy's doing his job. What an asshole.
Cleaning up after us animals.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Now, why does he have to keep coming over here to clean the glasses to bring the glasses to the bar that we refuse to bring to the bar as we continually order drinks?
Or the people that stand right on the edge of the bar, the opening.
Oh, yeah.
Like if it's a regular, I understand. It's fine. Like I get it. They're very nice about it. Oh, I'm so sorry. But like some people
too.
Yeah. Some people, I won't even give them 2 times. I'll be like, yo, look, you can't stand here.
And I think people, and we've talked about this before, people have this weird desire to feel like a part of the bar.
Yes.
And they just kind of insert themselves into this position. And they're like, well, if I stand here, then I'm automatically VIP. And it's like, no, literally, dude, it's just another spot at the bar. And the people that stand there and are kind of regulars and friends, they understand just common courtesy is really all it fucking is. It's common courtesy.
They're the same people that, like, when we're coming up from the basement with, like, a whole rack of beer, they're like, oh, yeah, can I take one of those?
No.
Just get out of the way.
Get out of the fucking way.
No,
because I've been standing here for 5 minutes while you pretended to be good at darts.
Yeah.
You're blocking the goddamn gate. For those who don't know. Actually, Pecker's door is right by the dartboard, too.
I've timed it good, though, because it's cracked enough where you can hear the noises. So I normally hear the 3 noises, and I'm like, all right, I'm coming out the door.
Preston's back there like a sprinter with his hands.
Yeah, I have
feet on the spikes, and it's like a gunshot, but it's the last dart.
I have been hit by a dart multiple times.
I think that's one of the many reasons we don't use steel tip darts anymore.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Just for you, Preston.
I grew up in Oxford, and back in the day, all we had was steel tip darts, and I can't imagine. I mean, I don't even think you get insurance if you had steel tip darts at a place like Magpie or Pecker.
Oh, definitely not.
Plastic darts saving lives since probably 2008. Well, one of the reasons we kind of do this show is to kind of show the human side of the people that serve you drinks. And there are a lot of people out there. This isn't everybody or majority. It's just the people you end up remembering that kind of look at you like you're there as the servant, and they just have this terrible personality quirk where they just want to shit on people for some reason. So already they have that mentality, and then to make your job harder, maybe you've never worked in the service industry before, but it doesn't take a fucking genius to realize that the person coming through with inventory works there and needs to get through. We're not trying to cut through you to be a dick. This is my job to serve you, and to have that mentality, it does suck. You never worked a parade day here, have you?
I have not, but I've been here parade days, so I can imagine how sucky it is.
I'm not gonna lie, I get a little PTSD being back here.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh boy, I know this spot.
Bill's down there ripping shots. He's like, I can't take it. No, it's something. I've barbacked here before back in the day, and it is not fun. It is not fun at all.
I bet. Because even at Oxford's, because Oxford's is a college bar mostly, I tend to see a lot of St. John Fisher and Naz kids there. Same thing when it's packed wall to wall, say, excuse me, trying to grab pitchers on a 450 pitcher Wednesday. They won't move. They just stare you right in the face.
No, I paid $4.50 exactly for this beverage, and you're not going to risk spilling any of it.
And I only gave the 50 cents back.
No. No, that's going to be the next 50 cents and the $4 that they have.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a weird dynamic because you bar back at a place like Murphy's, and it's more wide open. It's a bigger space, but there's more distance to travel for everything you got to do. Like there's more ground to cover no matter what. there's one opening in the bar to get the stuff that's all the way over here. You got to come all the way around and come through the whole crowd.
I am so shot after parade day,
Dude.
because I'm like go out the back, and then you have to go up.
We have to go down the stairs.
all the stairs with garbage too. I'm like, oh. But
It's a lot. So hands
you're
off.
feeling it the next day.
And I'm going to give a
Good.
shout out to Bill, actually, because you were only pretty much working at Half Pint. You just started working at Magpie a little bit more. And Bill stayed past his shift because we had some slacker barbacks in the morning. And they were pretty much, I'm out the door at the end of my shift. And Bill, you stay for like an extra hour, hour and a half.
A couple, yeah. But at the same time, like you said, you got to keep the ship running. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like the ship will go down if there aren't drinks in the cooler. Like, we got to keep
Shout
this
out to
going.
Bill, like because I'm at the door and I come out, I'm like, wasn't your shift over like an hour ago? And he's like, he's doing garbage bag stuff. He's like, well, dude, the job wasn't done. Like, I wasn't just gonna peace out.
I don't know
Yeah.
where everyone
like,
else is, but we got this.
So do you guys, I know, have you guys, when you start serving drinks a little bit, when the bartender gets in the weeds and he's like, hey, help me out a little bit. Do you guys, enjoy the kind of switch over to bartending for a little bit?
Back when I used to work at Oxford's, bartender had to go use the bathroom. So I'd be like, yeah, I make drinks because Oxford's pretty easy because college kids only like
four things.
yeah, like let me get an Amaretto sour or,
Yeah.
vodka Red Bull. So, I mean,
Most of the ingredients are the name, so it
yeah,
helps out.
yeah, the 2 ingredients. I mean, it was
Yeah.
nice doing the basics, like doing that. I'm like, I've always wanted, eventually, even though this is a second job that I've had, for 4 years, but I still like enjoy when I have to make drinks.
Yeah.
That it's still nice that, you kind of feel a sense of like pride where it's like, oh yeah, they made that and they're like, oh yeah, I enjoy it. So,
Yeah, no, there is that little, let's not forget the positives when we talk about it when there's times when, like for me, Saturdays where I have that like 6 to 10:30 portion of my shift where I really get to bartend a little bit. You get
Yeah.
to have a little fun with it, talk to people. I don't know what I want, and you get a little creative and you make something
yeah,
kind of out of nothing, and they're like, "That was great. What is it?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just made it," but it's just like it's cool. You're like, "Oh, you enjoyed that."
Yeah.
Like the Magpie Punch on our drink list was a shot that I made up years ago, and I also started making it as a drink, and I'm batting 1,000 with it, so it just became a drink.
That's awesome.
And
oh, that's cool.
so that's a lot of juice.
Well, I mean, I feel as though the same thing. It just like gives you the confidence. Just like, yeah, like, we've been bar backing for years and it's like, yeah, we can do this. Like, yeah, I got this. Like, I know exactly what you drink. I've been watching you drink this for like 3 years now. I got it, man.
And that is the curse of the bar industry, is because I think you got 2 kind of barbacks. Ones that just don't make it. They just want to hang out, make a few extra bucks and get drunk.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the second are the people that like immediately want to be like, okay, I bar backed for 2 weeks. Now I want to bartend. And that's the toughest part is like, we don't turn over bartenders often.
Yep.
We turn over barbacks all the time.
Yeah.
It's like this sad story arc of all these great barbacks that we have, because good barbacks make good bartenders. And it's like, I don't want to keep you where you are, but I don't want you to move on and not want to bar back anymore, because backfilling a good bar back and finding someone to replace them is so tough.
Totally.
And it's like, a lot of bar backs end up working like they'll pick up a day shift and like, hey, we're stuck for someone to open. It's an easier pace and you get to ease in. But like for you guys, that'd be tough because you guys have other jobs.
Yeah.
So, I
The
mean,
day shifts hurts.
No, I agree.
those good night shifts, our bartenders, how they are. They hold on to those fucking shifts.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
so it's
Take them to the grave.
it's a natural progression.
Well, that's why I appreciate, like everyone is a good head around here, like they will show you like things and help you out along the way. But like you said, it's a seniority, like a pecking order. It's just like, it's not just handed to everyone. So
It's like the teachers union, but it's a bunch of drunks. You guys like working at like a couple different places. I know you work Half Pint too. You work Pecker, both work Magpie. Is it like, are you ever in the mood for one place over the other? Is it kind of the people you work with? Is it the crowd? Is it just nice to have a change of scenery?
I'd say the people I work with a lot, because I mean, you've had all my bartenders on the show already. Between Demku, Lauren on Fridays, which they're a great crew. Shout out to them. And also Kenzie on Sunday, shout out to her too. But yeah, no, I've always had great relationships with my bartenders, even when I worked over at Oxford's prior to. I think it just makes it more enjoyable. And I think I'm a very sociable person. So it's like, it's nice being able to, make money while being able to, conversate with people, because you're not fully invested in, making a drink with someone. So you have the opportunity when it's like downtime or you don't have to stock something or go take out something. You're able to like, make friendships or even create conversations with people you didn't think you would.
No, and that's a good point, because like Josh has been my bar back for majority of the time for a while, and he knows the customers as well as anybody. There's especially Sundays. He's worked a lot of Sundays and football, and it's good that when you got a good bar back, when people come in and like they're not just saying hi to the bartender, they're saying hi to everybody. They know the whole crew. Wild Bill gets more standing ovations than I get, and I just think that's because he's awesome.
Not true.
I
do like switching it up though. Like, I don't know, it's a change of scene, like change of clientele sometimes too. Like Half Pint and Magpie, their clientele can be drastically different.
Wildly different.
So I don't know. It's nice to kind of see your regulars from both bars.
Right.
I do like that. It's just like, oh yeah, I don't know. Even this younger crowd, like these are still a lot of good people that I got to meet.
Yeah, you get to know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm stuck in I just always work at the one place because I'm a creature of habit. But I picked up a few shifts at Half Pint. It's like, I tell people, it's almost like you're not even working, because it's almost like a celebrity shift. Like, I'm just going to go hang out somewhere else.
It really is. I've bar backed a couple times now there, and I was like, this is like night and day.
Oh, dude.
It's almost like you're hanging out in a living room.
Yeah. No,
it's
yes,
just like
exactly.
super cozy, super chill.
Getting out earlier than you would at any other place, because the other places are always open till 2.
Yep.
Is different. And the pace is different, the vibe, the music, everything. And that's the funny thing though, just because everything kind of like evens out in the universe, where it's like Half Pint is so small and everything in the bar is so accessible. The basement's on the other side of the house. It couldn't be any further away, which, I've bartended shifts during the day. Like, I got to stock stuff. Like, stocking there is a nightmare, but slower pace, different vibe. And every bar has got its own character to it.
It's so funny how different Half Pint is during the summer and the winter though. It's like, whole different bar.
It is. It really is, because it's 2.5 times the size when it's the summer, because the patio is so huge.
And you get a whole different clientele too.
Yeah.
Love. No, it's
People,
great.
Someone that won't hang out at Half Pint in the winter, but just wants to sit outside in the nice months around here and drink on the patio.
Hold on.
But that's another thing. That's why there's such a lower tolerance for any bullshit there, because it's like, if anyone ever acts out of line at Half Pint, which is super rare, you're like, well, this is a huge issue, because everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck's going on? We don't do that here.
Well, halftime, the customers will take care of it before.
Yeah, right.
It's like, who are you?
Get the fuck out of my living room. No, we've customers rally. Josh and I have had to rustle people down. It's, again, few and far in between. We're in a good spot. We have a lot of new customers and staff. But people do band together out here. There's always some shit going on. Drunk people are going to be drunk people.
No, exactly.
We always, actually, the biggest way we end up getting more barbacks is someone that's barback. It's like, oh, I got a buddy that wants to work.
That's exactly how one of my other buddies started working for us. But yeah, same thing. I was barbacking up here. He moved up here, and he's like, oh, hey, you guys hiring? And now we have him.
Yeah, now he's in there.
Yeah.
So like, I used to be more involved with the hiring process, all these other things. And I got to know people before they started working. And once I've kind of, moved out to the nice, quiet suburbs with the wife and the kids, like, people join the group chats. And I'm like, oh, I know who this person is. And then I'll see them, like, they'll come out to the bar when I'm working, and I'm like, oh, they're hanging out with all the same people that I know. And then like someone like Fredo will be like, oh, that's so-and-so. I'm like, oh, I know you from the group chat, and then I'm like, I should have been giving you an employee discount. Why didn't you should have spoke up? But you do kind of come into and it happens fast. The group chats, barback group chat's not too crazy.
No, it's pretty quiet. Especially it's like, if they need something done, it's like, oh, hey, can you do this? Or...
And you guys don't swap shifts as much as bartenders do. Bartenders are always looking for last minute coverage or something. I don't find that to be the case.
And as you see, I don't always throw it right to the barback group chat. I'm like, all right, let me scope my people out here quick.
Make sure that don't want to upset the
bartenders.
Rock the boat, piss off the bartenders. Because sometimes we get into situations where we've talked about this with bartenders where they kind of fit a certain bar. That's no different. It's no different with barbacks.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, you're kind of more cut out for this. You're kind of more cut out for this. This is more your vibe. This is more your speed. And that's the same with bartenders. We're like, people are like, I want to work there. I'm like, I think, or if you're more of a day shift person or a night shift person, you guys are pretty consistent. Plus, like we talked about, there's a smaller pool of barbacks to pull from to cover shifts. But it is a good intro way. You do get a feel for the speed of the bar. You get a feel for kind of what goes on. And then, so hopefully you got someone good to work with that's not having a bad day, still wants to make tips. So it'd be nice to the customers and then just taking it out on their barback all day. Hey, you're going to
Never happens.
You'll be the punch. I'll tip you 30%, but you're going to be a punching bag for a little while. Because I know some guys that are classically like you tip. I know people that 18% is the normal for barbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another big reason. But I over tip like my barbacks.
You treat me well.
Yeah, well, especially when they're slower nights, because it's like I didn't make shit, and then you start breaking that up into smaller percentages. You're like, I've been there. I barbacked for years, and it's just like I know the work you did, and even though the number's this, I think on top of you guys are talking about, I got to make sure the bartenders are set. I think it's really important for bartenders to understand that their barbacks have to be happy too, or you're not going to get shit done.
Yeah.
Working your way up and having bartenders that understand we got to deal with the customers more, which is stressful sometimes and it's a pain in the ass, but we get to stay put for the most part. We're not running up and down stairs. We're not fighting crowds. We're not stocking stuff. We're asking.
And I feel as though, like those that have always said, like I used a barback before, like they just like have that extra level of like, I got you. More explanation, a little more empathy with like the whole process, and then the tip out usually shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. We talked about you guys helping serve. You got to take that into account too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, you're ringing in drinks, you're putting money in the register, you're putting money in our tip bucket, and I think that's got to be accounted for as well. Because the tip out should reflect the job. Also, if you do, so I'm the kind of guy, like if you do a shitty job, I'm tipping you the industry standard of percentage.
Yeah. That's another thing about barbacking too, especially if you work with like the same people and they treat you well, and then they're like they feel bad where it's like, I can't give you as much. I'm like, you're fine, I promise.
You always take care of me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It does come around. Everything balances. It's good that you see that, and you got to take care of your barbacks, man. They keep it going. Like working with Josh. Josh has been with us for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I know that no matter what, when my stuff's done, I can walk out the door because Josh will stay there for another. He's got like the approach where, because Magpie gets so busy on Saturdays that he leaves a lot of shit for after. He'd rather just do it
at the end,
45 minutes when everyone's gone, than battle people for 2 hours, the last 2 hours. I'm like, that's pretty smart. Yep. As long as I don't have to stay for it. Like, I don't give a fuck.
And the nights he works too, like it just gets wiped. Everything. Like you have to stock everything at once. So I understand that.
And that's even like because coming in on Sunday days too, like even if like something got forgotten or something, I'm not going to, be like, oh, I can't believe you forgot that. Cause it's like as a barback, you understand on a busy night and trying to clear things up at the end of the night, catch back up, you're going to forget a thing or two.
Yeah.
Or like, even it's like, I'll leave it for tomorrow's person. I never take that. I've never taken that to heart with like, a barback from the previous day or the previous night.
Unless it's something egregious. And I think bartenders for the most part are like that too. Cause bartenders, like if you say, if people have come to me like, listen, I bit my tongue for like a month, but this is like a pretty bad, consistent problem. Yeah. I'm like, okay, then it's got to be addressed. Yeah. You know why Bill's a consistent problem? Like the first time when I started working with Bill, I was, like I said, barbacks are tough to come across that are good. And I kind of got used to, shit's not getting done. I got to get home. I got kids. I'm tired. Like doing things at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
When you're burnt out from a long shift, but you're trying to get out of there and do your job.
You worked all day.
Something's going to slip your mind all the time. And it's when it becomes a persistent problem, you got to address it. But Bill was like so fucking, he's so diligent that it's like almost annoying. I'm like, God, you cost us an extra 15 minutes here, Bill, but it's exactly what you were supposed to do. You did a really good job at it. So from a manager style perspective, I can't be like, dude, stop doing your fucking job so well. I want to be like, dude, you should be a teacher.
I do remember though, the first time I worked with you, I think the next day Alex is like, so do you want to work like every Wednesday with Chris? I'm like, well, I guess we will.
You know what? I wasn't consulted about that. No, actually, I think I was. No, we got a good thing going on Wednesdays. And then you get into those flows, like you're like, and you get to know the nights too. You work, you kind of know what's going to happen, what's coming, what's kind of already passed. And Will has to bring out the garbage every Wednesday. I don't fucking do anything besides talk about this podcast to people at the bar. But Bill's like, hey, we got that little lull before midnight. I'm going to start bringing out most of the garbage, and we get into that rhythm. Yep. We got that thing going. Because the garbage now at Magpie is a pain in the ass, and the garbage at Peckers, is that a pain in the ass?
It's not. I shouldn't say pain in the ass. It's just a hike.
Yeah.
Because it's right next to the bar that's 2 doors down.
Yep.
It's like in the back alley of that bar. So you have to like, especially in the snow too. I've realized it's first time I was in t-shirt and shorts. I go, yeah, this is not happening again.
No.
So I throw on the hoodie, throw on the jacket.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I was spoiled. We still had the dumpster in the back of Magpie when I was bar backing. Now it's the back bar.
But back to what you were saying though too, how it's like you get into the rhythm of things. Like Dead Red normally, how I've worked there long enough to know it's like a late push. So it's like, it might be slow at the start, but you're going to get people at 12, 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, stock at 12:30, and then it'll be like, I'm not going to touch it till after we're done because there's no point.
Right. I have enough to get
Yeah,
through.
exactly. Because as soon as you stock everything, this huge boom, just like that, huge
Yeah.
rush,
All
and
day.
then you're back to right where you started anyway.
You're making
Yep.
2 or 3 trips to end up at the
Yeah.
same spot
Yeah,
anyways.
exactly. Yeah.
No, and that's good. You got, because I've had barbacks too that have to be told to do every single
Yeah.
fucking thing.
Yeah.
I think part of it, you got people that like want to get in the industry and then they're kind of, I don't want to say shell shocked, but they're almost like they don't have the confidence to do it. They're like, all right, I want to wait for the bartender to tell me what to do.
Totally.
But you do have to, it's like any job. You gotta, like my dad always raised me to say, listen, even if it's not your job and there's something that's gotta be done, just do it.
Yeah, you have to self-start. A
Right.
little motivation, intrinsic
Yeah.
motivation there.
No, exactly. A lot of people are like, "Oh, bar backing is like so easy." Like I could, I feel like I could just pick it up right on the spot. But a lot of it's about like timing. That's really what it is.
Totally.
Like
Yeah.
if that, I feel like that's like kind of like an unsung thing here. When it's there's 6 deep behind the bar. You shouldn't go back there and just get in their way, wash glasses.
Right.
Gotta wait, or when should I stock? When should I, start wiping down the tables? Start,
Yep.
making a bucket to, clear stuff too.
Bartending and bar backing totally is just like reading
Yeah.
the room.
Reading the
Yes,
room.
exactly.
Yep.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Definitely don't try to, try not to get behind yourself. And you find ways to make it work. And you got to dictate how the bar moves a little bit, but you also got to move with the bar a little bit. You go
Yeah.
against the grain, whether it's behind the bar or anything,
Mhm.
because, you guys have, you guys serve a little too. You disrupt the flow behind the bar, and that's like a fucking domino effect
Oh yeah.
for everything. And then the bartenders are behind, and everyone's flustered on both sides of the bar. Like I tell people all the time, it's like a runner's high when you're bartending and it's fast paced and you're doing
Mhm.
stuff. Then you get disrupted. It takes you a couple of minutes to get back into that flow again.
Yep.
Mhm.
And to a point where like, I told you how Josh and I we actually literally have hand signals. It's crazy. Like, no, this wasn't like, hey, let's get together and make signals.
Yeah.
But just when I need something and I'm always on point and he's in the kitchen area, we got to a point when we're busy, I don't got to say, hey, Josh, he's got to come down
Mhm.
and say, what do you need? It's almost like, the base coaches in baseball. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
Teach me your signals,
Yeah.
Chris.
well, Wednesdays, this time of year on Wednesday, you're usually right next to me. We're just talking and shooting the shit. Just waiting for time. Just waiting for the time to take out the totes and then wait for all
Karaoke
the-
over here.
Yeah. Yeah, we have karaoke at the place next door to us on Wednesdays, and they close at midnight. So we usually get a nice little rush at midnight. I get like the nice little early part where I get to ease in. Then Bill's there to hang out with. He's getting stuff ready for the whole night. And because he knows me so well, at 10:30, he's already prepping closing stuff.
All right, what can we do here?
Yeah.
That was a nice change of pace when I worked with you, because you're like, I like to be out of here too, and they're like, just do all this. Then I was like, normally people just have me wait, so then I'm like, this is perfect. Got out of there
Oh, no,
2:15.
I don't
That's
fucking-
probably the earliest I've ever gotten out of.
And I've been there so long, and I know everyone there, so it's not like anyone's being like, oh, this offensive bartender is signaling for me to get out of here. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, you guys just all know that
Yeah.
I'm up at 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, no matter what. So no harm, no foul. I'll serve people right till 2. It's not like I'm
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna like count my drawer at 1:30 and then no one can drink anything for half an hour. But yeah, as much as we can get done to get out of there, I'm all about that. And I always feel bad because I get the reports sent to me. So like on a Saturday, we were slammed, did crazy numbers, make good money, and I'm home in bed at 2:45. And 15 minutes after I get in bed, I get the report from Red Red Pecker. I'm like, oh, those poor bastards.
And it just came in.
That is
Yeah.
true. It really all depends on where you're at too, because the old place I used to work at, you get a lot of people, a lot of industry people that stop in after they close early or something. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like I'm there till like 3:30 waiting, for my tip out.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm
sitting
like,
there
I'm
like,
like, I'm like, I gotta go home, man.
I know you guys just started drinking and you're spending money and
Yeah.
throwing money at the bartenders. I gotta go home.
Yeah.
But that's another problem, though. If you're sitting there and the bartenders are serving industry people after they're throwing 20s on the bar.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you
you're
want to hang around a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
A
bad.
double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's like one more spin on the slot machine.
That way there,
I'll
another
go home.
3 hours. Like what?
No, we get the late night people that come in. So I like Josh because I can leave Josh there to hang out. That's why I call last call early. Like I'll serve till 2, but I'll call last call early to get people in the mind, because you got the people that'll sit there and know it's last call and there's a drink. Then at 2:02, be like, "Come on, dude, one more."
Every time.
Yeah, no,
Like, you son
without
of a
fail.
bitch.
Every time.
You guys, interact with customers. Do you kind of pick up on these characters that come into the bar that everyone kind of knows about?
Yes, no, that's for sure.
You could say.
Because I was talking, and we've talked about this. We are also going to be bringing up my friend David Gunning's book series, The Bartender's Guide to Douchebag Customers. And every show, we're going to be doing a segment on one of these. And we were talking about this before the show. And I don't read these beforehand because I want the same effect as everybody else. But the customer we're highlighting today is the broke ass bitch, which is just a wild picture. So the broke ass bitch on the douche-meter, she's an 8 out of 10. Her preferred drinks are Prosecco, Moscato, and Pinot Grigio. Looking to find her next sugar daddy. She comes up empty in the end. And then she waits for her next meal ticket. She'll order water or the 1 drink maximum. And she's claimed she only dates high class. And her opening line is, "I'll just have a water until my date gets here." So I think, I think we've all seen plenty of these people. The ones that come in and they're very needy customers, and they think they're the special gift. And I know I've seen customers like this that will just bounce around looking for the guy for their next drink, and then, be upset when the guy wants to hang out with them, and then they'll just go from guy to guy. And then at the end of the night, this collective of unsuspecting men has gotten this girl drunk, and now she's a problem for us because no one wanted to go home with her. It's like,
At her every week, it's a different guy.
yeah, like come on, you milked a fucking whole different guy last
like
week.
really, come on.
Or it's the
just
opposite,
softens.
where it's the guy that gets upset because they didn't want to go home.
Yeah.
That's like a college bar to a T, especially being up in Rochester, where you get the mix of, normal people, people that live here versus all the people that come to school up here. I saw it every night I worked, where it'd be like girls would come in, they'd sit down, they wouldn't order a single drink, but as soon as they'd see older men come in, they'd talk to them, or they know them, or be like, "Oh yeah, he's my best friend," aka they want to hang out with them the whole night to get drinks, and then they'll immediately boom, just like that. As soon as it's 2:00, they're gone.
If you got a younger clientele, if an older guy walks in that makes $60,000 a year, that's the millionaire in the bar.
Yes, exactly.
And it's you kind of got to wonder, is that guy hanging out at the younger clientele because he's like, "I just feel super cool here. Like, it makes me feel more successful that I'm here and I can afford a lot of the $2 special." Or you have girls that I know they're drinking vodka sodas with lime. And then as soon as a guy starts buying, it's like, "Oh, I'll have the Casamigos or a martini."
Yep.
And they'll just upcharge right away. And listen, a guy starts buying drinks. We've talked about this before. Guys, if you're buying girls drinks and they're taking them, it doesn't mean that they're obligated to do anything. But girls, you got to understand the other side. If you're going to sit there and just go out looking for people to buy your drinks, you gotta tread a little lightly, because after a certain amount of money, they think you're hanging out for the night.
I've experienced both sides, right? Especially being a barback, people, because you're not there serving, so they're going to tell you your issues, and it's you got to side with certain situations. You side with both there, where it's like, look, you were literally flirting with him the whole night. You can't be mad at the guy for thinking there's the wrong intention, but at the same time, guys can be a little creepier on that end, where I get what you're saying. You got to get out of the situation.
Yeah, you literally can't purchase her with alcohol. Or you'll see it where a girl's hanging out, milking some guy for drinks all night, gets drunk, and then meets some other guy, then goes home with this other guy. So this other guy who's getting laid just got a free meal ticket by this other poor bastard who just got done dropping his whole paycheck on this girl.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And like how you talk about, you see both sides. Part of it's kind of fucking genius, for the guy she actually ended up going home with.
Oh yeah.
And the girl. Yeah,
But it is great though. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, both of these regulars, and now they're both getting in an argument. It's just like, okay, well, you kind of have to side with both of them because
Yes.
you like both of them, but
No, that's
don't
for
always
sure.
agree with them.
I'm a neutral party here.
Yeah, my favorite is, yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But like in reality, like
got
you're
you.
totally on the other person's side.
Yeah. Or you just don't fucking care at all. You're just like, no, I'm
No,
just,
that's true.
this is a nod in my head and smile. So you
Mhm.
tip me. Because we do care about our customers. We get to know people. But you guys got to, people have to understand. We get so much shit thrown at us every night sometimes. Like, I have people ask me, well, if you're dating somebody, what do you like? Especially like girls ask me, like, this guy is dating me. I'm like, I'm not going to give you any dating advice. First of all, I'm probably 15 years older than you. Second of all, like, I'm only getting one side of the story here. I'm not going to give you life advice. Like, I'll help you out and I'll be an ear to talk to.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to like sit here and be like, yeah, you should totally. Here's how you should alter and change your life, and this is the direction I should send you off. And here's your 18 green tea shots that you just ordered. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like you're just adding fuel to the fire, and
That was one thing I do love though. It was just like when I was teaching, it was just like just little screaming kids, and then it's just like you go to the bar at night and it's just like old screaming kids. It's just like it's the same situation, just a little different setting.
it does. I've talked to people about this before. Like when I was like, man, I might be aging out of this a little bit. It's where we're working, because when my son was 2, is when I started noticing some similarities between my clientele and my son.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
Which way are we going?
yeah, it's like, should I get mad at them or should I just not be here? They're acting accordingly, honestly. But going back to that kid saying they want to punch you in the face, have you ever so barbacks also, because they're out in the crowd, deal with a little bit more shit than, bartenders will see something and call for bouncers and do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You guys ever diffuse situations out there?
Yeah. So even at my old place, I used to have to work the door as well too. So Wednesdays we'd charge a cover. So Wednesdays I'd be the guy that did the cover, but also roaming at the same time. And also even bar backing too. I've, roamed and then you have diffuse situations. And then you walk up, and be like, hey, what's going on? And then, you look like a normal person at the bar. So they're like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then,
Aren't you that guy just trying to get around me with that case of beer a minute ago?
Or it's like, because it was awkward for me in a college bar situation because I look like, at the time, I was 21, 22. I looked their age. So they're like, who the fuck is this guy trying to talk to me? But and then you go, once you say I work here, then, it's all of a sudden stop. And then, you actually listen. Cause it's like, even my physique, I'm like 5'8" with a beer gut here. So it's like, I really can't throw anyone out, but I became good at diffusing situations. Be like, look, they want, you just make up stories. Be like, hey, they want to kick you out, but I'm going to give you the chance to, walk away from the situation, even though no one said that at all, but, and get them to realize like, oh, this guy's looking out for me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let me walk away from the situation before it makes it worse.
And Preston, you nailed it. So on Fridays during the summer, I'm Big Bad Bouncer Bill at Half Pint sometimes. And I feel as though obviously I'm not throwing anyone out either. So it's just like, I feel as though I more just like diffuse the situation than it is like okay, I'm here to break it up. But numerous times, I've walked by people that are about to be in a fight, outside in the alley at Magpie. And I'm just like, okay, guys, we don't need this here. Homeboy's super drunk. You don't need to whomp him.
Yeah,
it's fine. Just let him be. But I've been up here on St. Patrick's Day and actually had to break up a fight. So
yeah, you were all over the place that day.
We've done it all.
How you still work?
Guy had a bloody nose, a ripped shirt. Yeah.
Did you really?
Not me, but the guy that was.
Oh yeah.
We had to break it up.
That's what after Bill got his hands on him.
Hey.
Don't call him Wild Bill for fucking nothing.
That's also a nice thing about building relationships with the regulars is barbacks, because, something that happens to you because you're roaming around more than the bartender behind, they'll be like, hey, do you want me to deal with this situation with you? Or they'll stick up for you in that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
I think customers have this idea that well, if the owner's not here, I'm going to be a dick to the manager. The manager's not here, I'm going to be a dick to the bartender. The bartender's not here, I'm going to be a dick to the barback. And in a bar situation, anything about the service industry, if you got a tight knit group of people that work together, I'm going to have your back as much as anybody's and regulars too. You get to know people. Doesn't matter what your position is. You represent the bar, you got your regulars, you got your coworkers. And for me in particular, I get that all the time where people are they'll act nicer on my shifts because they think there's more consequence. Like it's because it's me.
Yeah.
But like if I'm hearing from staff that this person's a constant problem, I'm like, what do you think? I'm gonna fucking it's because you're nice to me. I'm gonna let you be an asshole when someone else is working.
Everyone.
If there's ever any staff drama, as soon as someone starts shit in the bar, everyone immediately unifies.
All big time.
Regulars, staff, everything, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then you got the daggers, and you will not come into our bar again and disrupt. We can disrupt our bar, but you fucking better
How
not.
dare you?
Yeah, and that's a tough thing with alcohol because if you're sober and working, or just if you have a couple of drinks while you're working, and then you got someone that's absolutely shit faced, like getting through to that person is you try to diffuse. We always try that because especially in our bars that are a little bit smaller, if something were to ever happen, it disrupts the whole night for a while. You can't. It's tough to get everything reeled back in, but it's good to have that family mentality, and you guys get to see a little bit more than we do. We can only see what's right in front of us behind the bar. If you guys are out about on the floor, it's a whole different thing. But what happened to me the other day? Oh yeah, the first second I got to Magpie, I want to bring this up. Do you I'm pretty good about. I know Pat is terrible. He's always cutting his hands on shit. You got
He's told me plenty of
the
those
fucking guy
Every
goes
time.
through
Puts his
1,000
gloves on
Band-Aids
before
and
he
shit. He'll bring a whole new box of Band-Aids in, and then the next week he'll come back. He's like, "Where'd all the Band-Aids?" I'm like, "They're on your hands,
Yeah,
Pat." You guys have a lot of battle wounds when you're working, or is it been pretty easy?
It's always opening the damn cardboard boxes to the beer. Open the fresh thing. You open it
They
the
won't
wrong
get
way,
you.
or you're breaking down a box,
Yep.
and then you literally just nick it the
cardboard
right
cut,
way.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll get you.
No, that's a nightmare. I know, but we usually do plastic when we get busy at Magpie,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit.
I feel as though my hands are usually more banged up from the shop.
Oh, that's right. You work on cars.
And then I come here and I'm like washing dishes. I'm like, okay, yep, I feel it.
And Bill actually works on my car now. We've become friends, and we've networked through that. I'm like, now I'm harassing Bill about the constant problems I have. I'm like,
Hey, by the way.
yeah, by the way, I don't know. You guys like what you're doing? You guys look forward to coming to work? I know you guys have other jobs. Given how Magpie is, you get a nice little grace period. Like I don't rush you in or anything.
And that's the thing, like, I don't know. I like kind of having the day job and then like switching it up, going in, like just a whole complete different scene, like whole different job responsibility. And it's, I don't know, a little more fun, just like being able to converse with people and, share something that we all have in common, like a nice drink, But I feel as though I don't know, it's a nice change of pace, I guess, having the two shifts.
Yeah.
No, it is nice being night and day because it's like, it's very different for my job, especially for me. I work in a lab during the day, during the week, and then it's a desk job at the same time. So it's very, corporate-esque vibe. And then, you come in here, it's like nice because you get to, it's like chatting to friends all night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the only thing that sucks is going in on Monday after you're working, all weekend and your schedule's flip-flop where you're working until 2 a.m.
Yeah, so during the day on the weekend, you're just kind of hanging out, and then you're up till some ungodly hour.
Yeah.
And then also trying to have a little bit of a weekend where you're like, okay, I'm going to have a few drinks or, have a few after, because Bill always gives me, that's when I know we're kind of getting close to close is, Bill always leaning into me like fucking clockwork. He's like, mind if I pour myself a little sipper? I'm like, yeah, go for it. I'm like, first of all, I appreciate that he always asks. Second of all, the answer is always yes. Like, one day I'm just like, you know what? No, Bill.
No.
You watch me, Chris.
And I have watched Bill's pours get better over time.
Yeah.
We can work on that.
It's a growing process.
Yes, it is. It is. If I pour a little sipper, I'm like, yeah, dude, whatever makes you whatever motivates you to get us the fuck out of here faster, I'm all about it. But yeah,
I think it's more just letting you know, hey, we're at this point of the night. Like, I'm pretty well caught up. I think now
you guys think that sipper's for Bill. That's for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
just letting you know.
This is my time to get going.
We're in good shape.
Energy's definitely good. And like you said, the social aspect of it, you get to hang out with people. We're making money while you're hanging out and shooting the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And how people, it's almost like how people that move from like this area to Florida to like, you vacation where we live. I'm like, yeah, well, we make money where your social life is. It's also our social life.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you nailed that.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it feels like. It's different when you are going out with friends. You're like, well, I feel like going home. I can go home. And then when you're at work and you're like, I feel like I want to go home, but I can't. And 2, 3 in the morning is a little bit different when you don't want to be out there or you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
But put some money in your pocket. You did your job.
Exactly. And like, I don't know, like I mainly started on this side of the bar because I was a patron on the other side of the bar.
That happens a lot,
It's
man.
just like, hey, so you guys need a hand. And that's like how it all transpired. So it's just like, okay, instead of spending the money and making money, like it all works out.
was that at Half Pint that all
Yeah.
started? Did you buy the shirt?
Shout out Krista. Oh, shout out Jess. Thank you so much. She got me 2 custom shirts.
Wow.
I know.
I'm fucking slacking over here. Jess is making me look terrible. I'm sitting over here dishing out sippers and Jess.
Waiting for a Magpie custom shirt.
Yeah. I'll get you like a nice tank top.
Can't wait to rock that.
Fucking just when you thought
You
Bill couldn't
love
get any
that.
more wild.
Kenzie made me a nice custom jersey for Sundays. It says "Out the bartender" on the back.
That is
So
awesome.
like, there's some people when I first got it, they're like, "What does your jersey say?" And I'd turn around and be like, and then they, the cliche joke, "Oh, can I have a drink?"
Yeah, no, I'm not serving.
Yeah, I'm not serving. Yeah.
That's actually awesome.
That is awesome.
When my brother used to bar back out here, he lost a bet with a regular, and he had to wear. You guys know Kip. He had to wear this shirt that said "I love Kip" and all pink glitter on it, and on the back it said like Kipper. I don't know. He's got the pictures. I'm sure next Sunday bring that up to him.
Oh, well,
Because Anthony was wearing it. He had it like tied on the side. He had to wear it his whole shift on Sunday.
Anthony, that had to have been a hell of a look.
Oh, those are the kind of bar like that's the
Totally.
shit that like that's what I think we kind of live for. Like you
Yeah.
get to know people, everyone
Yeah.
busts each other's
That's the
balls.
stuff you remember. You know?
Yeah,
Exactly.
you make friends. Like that story was probably 12 years ago. You know what I mean? I still remember it. And it's a story that's still funny. And there's a lot of stories made in these places, a lot of bonds, and there's a real history there. And that's why like it's talking barbacks, it's like that's why the ones that are good, you eventually want to move into bartenders because everyone becomes part of this fabric of the bar.
Yep.
And a part of the story. And it's cool shit because it's like it's our story. Like no one else can recreate it, no one else can do it. It's our thing. And we do have a lot of good times.
That's the thing though. Like, I don't know. You take in your own. It's just like, yeah, I've seen you progress. Like,
Yeah.
You're our family.
Yeah, no, you're
You got
you're
this.
in.
You know what you're doing.
And then at first, like you find like you're texting people about like just work stuff,
Yeah.
and then like you start just kind of shooting the shit over text. You're like, hey, can you cover this shift? The next thing you know, like, dude, did you see this? The next thing you know, you're talking with people,
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
and your friends, you didn't even see it happen. And that's when you start hanging out with people, and people in the industry are usually the most fun to hang out with. Or you're a customer, and that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Customers like, hey, yeah, do you have any openings? And then they're picking up shifts, and then now they have 1 shift, and now they have 2 shifts, and now they have 3 shifts, and they're working parade day, breaking up fights.
And that's
That's how I started, though. Yeah, that was right. I mean, I just graduated college, moved up here, and then that's how I was like, hey, you got any shifts available? Then I had my 1, then I moved to multiple days.
And the thing is, I think anybody can start it. I just think it takes a certain person to stick with it because
touche.
it's a lot. Like they say, that's why I think the conception of anyone that works at a bar backing, bouncing, bartending, whatever, they're like, oh, that's an easy job. And that's why I think a lot of people kind of look down on us a little bit.
Mhm.
And I'm like, don't get me wrong. If you look at just the task that you see and that you're paying attention to, which is your drink, nothing else you're paying
Yes.
attention to,
Yeah.
then this looks super simple.
Yeah.
But there's more to it. It's the strain on your body. It's strain dealing with people. It's strain on the hours. It's having other jobs and doing this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And dealing with these things and getting to understand the ebb and flow of people and when there's something going on and when to step in and how to entertain people. You're kind of back there,
Oh yeah.
juggling and doing shit to kind of keep people entertained, to pay you and to budget your life or to make extra money.
Yeah.
It's not like a salary job where you're like, I don't want to make this much. I can do this. It's like, I'm kind of counting on this money, whether it's extra income or my full-time job.
Yeah.
And it's really tough. We have slow seasons. We have busy seasons. We have times where it's inexplicably slow or inexplicably busy. And it's kind of a roller coaster. So I think it takes a certain kind of person to be on that ride for a while.
No, exactly. Because I feel like, especially during like a slow season or, slow couple weeks, if you first start and be like, man, this is all I'm making, then they'd be like, oh, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But
That's
now
That's a good point.
You got to weather through the storm because when the nights are good, you're going to have a good night
Right.
at the end of the day.
And you got to stick it out. And that's why we try not to cut shifts or do things because it's like, I don't want you to go find any way to fill that time because we want to keep everyone around and we want to keep people making money.
Yeah.
But that's a really good point that you gotta weather the storms to get to the sunshine a little bit.
And beyond that too, it's just like sometimes it's just like, oh, that was like a really easy shift, and then like you get swamped sometimes, and it's just like some people don't have that adversity to be like, yeah,
this isn't worth my time. No matter
this
what.
is not for me. It's like, that was just a busy night, and you got to figure out how to handle it.
We tell bartenders all the time, like you guys got to market, you guys got to build your shifts. Things don't just happen overnight. You kind of develop a crowd and like, oh, we know this bartender is good. This bartender and barback that work together, we like to go see them.
Yeah.
And you kind of make it, each night is kind of like your own thing that you can, it's the same bar, but it's like, oh, I like that crew. Like those guys all work well together and people want to be a part of it. And then you got my friends, I don't have any friends anymore, but if my friend, your friend, and they all come in and visit you, and then they're like, okay, now they're friends, and now it just kind of compounds, and that's like your crew that comes and hangs out for your shifts, and you can just kind of build it. And there's a talent to that. You can't just say, well, the doors were open, no one came in, so fuck this. I'm getting out of here.
And I definitely got to plug Wagner it was going on before me, but Movie Mondays, it's nice at Half Pint. We usually show a double feature and get some people in there for popcorn in a movie.
That's awesome. I did that years ago at Mad Pie, not taking any credit away from anyone. You guys have a very dedicated system for that. But I used to do that when I worked Monday nights when it was like 10 degrees out, 3 feet of snow on the ground. I would just put movies on and people would just come in and hang out. Cause like, something different. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I could be doing this by myself at home or hanging out, having a few drinks with
what else people. Are you doing on a Monday, Yeah, now it's usually a little sports, usually some football, and then a movie. So it's great.
And that's why, like, it's like in the summer there's no real good sports on all that much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of golf going on. But that's really about it. But it's fine because the weather's nice. So you're not sitting around. Now then you got baseball playoffs, hockey season starts, football season gets going, and now like for me, it's like, hey, I get to go to work, watch some sports, make a few bucks, and I always lie to myself though. It's tough to watch. Like I'm a hockey guy. The Leafs are, I'm a Leafs fan, and the Leafs are on. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get to watch the game at work. I've been telling myself that for years. And every time, like, hockey's impossible to watch when you're bartending.
Oh, I bet.
Because so much happens all the time.
It definitely is, especially living in, upstate New York, a bunch of Bills fans. I'm a Patriots fan. So it's nice to.
Wish I knew this before I asked you to be on the show.
That's fair. But it's nice to, hate watch, with a bunch of other Bills fans.
Yeah.
It's because everyone knows now that, comes in on Sundays that I'm, a Patriots fan. So it's the nice banter back and forth.
Yeah. I think this episode really shows that, the real complete package of what a staff is and what it makes and the roles that everyone plays. And I'm not just talking the job, it's almost like to have another person like on a Wednesday, I'm the only bartender, but that it was like when I used to work on Mondays without a bar back, it's a whole different dynamic having someone working with you and kind of having like a little 1-2 punch of people behind the bar. Cause it just helps out so much. It's just like, especially I think from a customer base too. Like if I'm I'm a little busy doing something, you can hang out and shoot the shit. Or if I need a hand, you're there.
Yeah, exactly.
And it changes that dynamic completely. Like if I'm running frantically behind the bar by myself, if I get a randomly busy night when I don't have a bar back, it's like, okay, I can't talk to anybody or really give people great customer service.
And they're watching
let
me run downstairs.
You run around. And, I'm grabbing.
Let me run downstairs real quick.
No, it gets crazy. So having, you guys are, I think, really the unsung heroes, and I think, such very invaluable to like what the bar experience is for customers and for people you work with, which is, big shout out to all the barbacks out there that stick it out. It's the same thing as bartending, man. It's a certain kind of person that can stick it out for a long time.
We all put in our own work,
No, exactly.
There are different levels of how we do it.
Yeah, for sure, man. You guys see yourselves hanging out in this industry for a while? Part-time, full-time, whatever. Do you guys, I know you guys said you got some aspirations to be more of on the bartending side. So do you guys think that's, something that's going to be in the future for a while?
Yeah, I think so. Especially because even I took a year off and I was like, I miss this.
Yeah.
And, I came back and then it felt like I didn't even leave. And it's, like I said, I like it for the social aspect too. It's very night and day from my normal job. So it gives me that sense of, sometimes my day job's not as fun. So it's like, I get to go to work, enjoy it.
No, for sure.
You get paid to, do what you're going to end up doing on the weekend anyway. It's going to be at the bar,
All right.
Hanging out with
Exactly. Yep.
Especially if you work like a weekday, you're like, oh, well, it's a weekday and I got to work in the morning. I can't just go out drinking. Oh, I can still go out and be social and make a few dollars. And
Exactly.
it's a whole different mentality than,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I feel like a piece of shit out here on a Wednesday getting hammered
Mm-hmm.
when I got to work at 8 a.m. the next day. And it's tough to justify, having that part of your social life.
Without a doubt. And sometimes, like, I don't know, I guess I'm guilty of sometimes not going out and spending the money in the culture. But at the same time, it's just like I get my social fix sometimes
Right.
just from bartending. And, it's just bar backing. But at like being out, it's like, I don't necessarily
I felt
always
like I went
have-
out 4 times this week.
Exactly. I don't always have to be like, yo, let's go grab a drink. It's just like, yeah, like, I don't know. I've already been out.
Yeah, I've already been out 4 or 5 times. I actually want to be home
It
for
actually be
a
awesome.
night and actually relax and enjoy the house that I pay for and
Literally.
all these other things.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, guys. I look forward to, having you guys around and continually to grow, become friends. Maybe someday when my kids are older, maybe some actually drinking buddies. That'd be nice.
Can't wait.
We do appreciate everything barbacks do. And if you don't, you're not a good bartender. I think that's where I'm going to stand on that. You could have a shitty barback, but if you don't appreciate a good barback, you're not a good bartender because they keep the wheels moving. So we are going to wrap up here a little bit. Everyone, please remember to pick up your Bartender's Guide to Douchebag Customers by our friend Viente Procento. Make sure you look up that he's got 2 volumes out right now. He is working on his 3rd, so keep an eye on that. And again, a local shout out of the show, GV3 Barbershop, Park Avenue, East Avenue. Check them out. They'll always take good care of you. Walk in, make an appointment. Can't go wrong. And actually, guys, as a little gift from our local shout out, Gil over at GV3 was nice enough to set you guys up with a $50 gift certificate each to the barbershop as well as a beard kit.
Oh, sweet.
So that's from our friends at Gil and our friends over at GV3. Bill, you're going to have to grow a beard or you can re-gift that for Christmas.
I'll work on it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
So yeah, make sure you guys check out GV3, check out the Bartender's Guide to Douchebag Customers. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe to everywhere you get your podcast, to the Behind the Pine Podcast, or check us out at behindthepinepodcast.com. All right, guys, this is it for this episode. I want to get home, so please work hard to get all this shit cleaned up for the next person.
I got you. Don't
All right, guys, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.